Hi everyone, thanks for coming. It's another exciting time, exciting training camp here. It's been a really good off season, you know, for me in lots of ways. Obviously working with Tree and getting to know him and building towards this. You know, it's one thing to go through the process and on all the planning and such, but you like to be right in it. So to be here and have it right in front of us, which is allowing us to zoom in more and focus on the daily process that we'll begin tomorrow, is exciting. So we'll take questions and get this going.
Hey, Sheldon. Just wondering, in the interest of always trying to create versatility in your lineup, is there a scenario under which you'd ever consider using William Nylander at center in a more consistent fashion?
Willie's going to start at center in camp tomorrow, so it's something, obviously, with that being the case, we have considered it. I've talked to Willie about it. Tree and I have talked a lot through the off season about it. You know, and it's something. Willie's moved to center at different times, you know, since I've been here. And moving from wing to center, I think, is a lot more difficult on the fly than it is moving from center to wing. So giving him some time and some opportunity to grow into that position through camp and have experience and confidence to do it gives us a chance to see what it looks like, how it affects Willie's game, but also how it affects our team and the flow of our team. I think it's important to do so. Willie's been fully on board. He's totally comfortable playing center. Obviously, gets drafted as a center, played center. I coached him playing center with the Marlies. So it's not a huge leap from my position. It's just something we haven't given a whole lot of runway with, and I think we'll commit to it for a bit here, and you know, not committing to any sort of specific period of time, but just to say it's not going to be a one-off or a one-day thing or a one preseason game. We want to give it some time, you know, to come together just to see what that looks like.
Sheldon, congrats on the extension. I wonder if you can take us back to that dramatic month of May where Kyle leaves and Tree comes in, and maybe your status is unknown. Can you walk us through what you were feeling in those moments when Kyle left before Tree got here, and were you worried for your own job at that point?
Yeah, well, first I'll just say that one of the things I'm most excited about with today is a chance to be here and focus on what we're doing and not have to look back or think about much of what's happened. It's a new team and a new group, new general manager, all these things. So it's been exciting that way. In terms of the contract itself, you know, I was obviously happy that got settled. You know, anytime the organization shows belief in you, it's an empowering thing, and it's a good thing. It's something that my conversations with Tree, that it was going to get dealt with in time when we both had checked a number of things off our list to get to it, and then, you know, through the time we had spent together, I think it was clear that it would be a match on both sides. Obviously, it's a commitment on my side as well, and you know, a reflection of how I feel about Tree and the direction of the team. So, you know, that side of it's good. It doesn't have any impact for me in terms of my preparation, my planning, or whatever it might be. The focus is the job, and obviously it's a significant opportunity and challenge for me once again here, and I'm excited about it.
Hey, Sheldon, when you look at the possibilities on the left wing, especially in the top six, whether it's Bertuzzi or Domi or Nyes or Järnkrok, do you have sort of an idea of how you want that to shake out yet, or is it considered an open competition going into camp? Well,
I think you have a plan going in, right? Just you want to look at different things, but obviously it's a long season, it's a long preseason. We've got 3 weeks here, we've got 8 preseason games again this season. So you got an opportunity to look at different things. You know, as obviously Nyes was in here last season a little bit through the playoffs, but when you look at it, you know, we've got a lot of different options on left side here now. Not just with, you know, with Bertuzzi and Domi, and Nyes, but you got Robertson's going to be here back healthy again competing. You got Gregor that's come in. You've got some real competition there, and he's essentially our I just named 5 left wingers that really weren't with us last season. You know, Nick played a little bit, obviously, Nyes a little bit at the end, but there's a lot of new faces there, new guys. So we'll see how it all works. And then we're starting with William in the middle. I don't know if you could put any sort of label on, you know, on what line is which or how it works. I just think it presents some real great opportunities for us from a depth scoring standpoint.
Sheldon, how well have you got to know your new assistant coaches in the past few weeks, and any changes in what you projected their roles to be, such as power play, PK, all that sort of thing?
Yeah, no changes to the roles as they were presented. I think the last time I spoke with you guys, but it's been really good to spend more time with them. Obviously, we were a little bit later in the off season than you'd like to, ideally, to finalize your coaching staff. But it's been tremendous working with both Mike Van Ryn and Guy Boucher. Both have brought a lot to our staff, and to still have Dean Chenoweth and Manny Malhotra in place, I think. We've got a very complete staff, and the delegation of roles, I think, is going to really benefit not just me, but the players as well. And we've got great ideas, great experience all the way through the staff. So it's been really good, you know, working with them, and, you know, once again, it makes me that much more excited to get on the ice tomorrow.
Sheldon, why was now the time to move William to the middle, and how will that affect John potentially?
Well, I mean, why? I would just say it's obviously Tree and I have talked a lot this summer. Tree coming in, it's a fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ideas, and something that he presented. We talked about some of the history of William playing in the middle and how it has been sort of one-off here and there, not a whole lot of runway given to it or a whole lot of time to let it breathe or to let him get comfortable there. So I think that's really what just led us to, you know, starting camp this way and giving him that opportunity. I do believe he'll still move around. He'll still play wing. He's talked to me about how playing as a center and then moving to the wing, whether it's for a game or for a shift here or there, is very easy and very comfortable for him. Going the opposite way is much more difficult. So to have this time, it makes it make sense that way. And I think it increases the depth of our team. But, you know, I'm well aware of who the good players are and who needs to be on the ice. And whether it's Austin or John or David Camp, you know, we've got a lot of options there, a lot of guys that'll give us good minutes, and it'll be on me to manage it. But that will be part of what we'll see here is how does it affect the flow and the rhythm of the team when you have them, you know, on 3 lines like that.
Hey, Sheldon, how much more comfortable are you now with the goaltending, given A, the Ilya season last year, and B, what looks like it's going to be quite a competition for the backup role between Jones and Wall?
Yeah, obviously with Jones coming in with his experience to come now and push the group, I think is very good and healthy for us. I know he's very motivated coming in, and Samsonov, I thought, took a tremendous step last season, and I think has had a terrific offseason. All the reports for how he looks and just talking to him, I think he's in a really good place and has come a real long way from where he was a year ago. So that's exciting. And then Joe Wall, really, you know, you don't want to use the word surprise maybe, but because he's a highly touted goalie, he's got a lot of talent, but we think he sped up his development last season, you know, probably quicker than we'd expected, especially considering he wasn't in this camp last year. He was injured and didn't have much of an off season, but he's had a full off season now to build on the experience that he's had and the confidence that he should have gained through his time in the net last season. Extremely motivated and looks tremendous. He's been in here a real long time, training and getting ready. So I think we're in a good place there, and it's, you know, be fun to get those guys out there.
Hey, Sheldon, what does Nick Robertson need to do to make this team?
Well, I think in Nick's case, I think it would be pretty similar. He's a situation that he was in last season, you know, so it's just to worry about his game, go out and play and compete and make it obvious that he belongs on the team and can help the team, and that he can play in the league, you know. I think he's done that at different times here and there, but both in you know, his ability to find ways to produce consistently in the regular season especially has been a challenge, like it is for a lot of young players. So finding his way through that, and then of course, just, staying healthy and being available is a big part of it as well. But, he's, with the guys that we brought in this year, there's going to be a tremendous level of competition there. We've got some options to play guys on both wings, so it's not like you look at it and think that it's impossible to find your way through. Just go out and make it obvious that you belong. That's really been my message to him, is just to go out and start climbing his way back. This has been a long time, since he's played. I think he said it's been about 9 months since he's played a game. I know he's really excited. He's a tremendous young player with lots of talent. He does have experience here. He had a tremendous training camp last season for us, and I fully expect that he will again. It's just a matter of continuing to take those steps.
Two-parter, Sheldon. To follow up on Jonas's question, with you trying or looking at Willie at center, what does that mean for John, and is there a possibility that he goes to the wing? And the second part of the question is, I'd heard a lot this summer about the idea of Austin Matthews killing penalties, and I know Trees talked about it. I think you talked about it a little bit. What are your thoughts on that as camp begins?
Yeah, on your first question, John last season did show the ability to play wing for us and the confidence to do so. So that's always an option that we can utilize at any time, we think, and John's comfortable with that. Obviously, as I've talked about here, our plan is to start with Austin, Willie, and John all up the middle, and to see what that looks like. It's something we haven't given a whole lot of time to. Not just Willie playing center at all, but usually when Willie has played center in the past, it's when one of Austin or John have been out. So we want to get a look at that, but whether it's Willie moving to the wing or John moving to the wing, we've got tremendous options and flexibility there. And with the additions that we've made this offseason, it gives us some opportunity to try some things. And I think it's necessary, as I've talked about. There is a lot of change there on the forward group, so we'll look at some different things there. As for Austin on the penalty kill, if there's minutes available on the penalty kill for us this year that we have to fill, and we've dabbled a little bit with Austin on the penalty kill a couple seasons ago, and he's willing and able to do whatever is asked of him to help the team. So he'll get some time here through the preseason as well to get comfortable with that. I expect a number of other players to be competing hard for those minutes on the penalty kill. For me, when it comes to a player of Austin's caliber, killing penalties, it's not necessarily about whether he can do it. It's about how it affects the team and the rest of it. Obviously, if you're going to play on the penalty kill, he's likely to have to miss at least a shift of 5-on-5 play. So when you have one of the best 5-on-5 players in the league playing a little bit less, that's not always a good thing. But that's up for me to manage. What I would like to see is that our group develops as such that we do use Austin on the penalty kill, but depending what is happening in the game, that we have a number of others that are able to play that, to take those minutes as well.
Hi, Sheldon. Can you share with us your process and how you use these summer months to arrive at all these sort of lineup thoughts, in terms of what you're going to change? Is it video? Is it picking the brains of the players, obviously talking to Tree and the like?
Well, I mean, you go through a number of things. This was a unique offseason for me in lots of ways, and that you guys are all well aware of. But obviously a number of conversations with Tree, and going through the process, first of all, of whether we were going to be a match to work together was the first thing. And then as you're starting to build the team, there's a number of conversations that you have, and then you're starting to build out your plans for training camp from there. I have a number of conversations, of course, with the coaching staff as it relates to lineups and line combinations and rosters. I generally seek player input on most decisions that I make. That's part of my process in making decisions. Doesn't just like whether it's any of my coaches or player, they make suggestions and give you information, and you make what you think is the best decision. It's a long season. It's training camp. preseason, all these things. You're going to try some different things. Just the nature of preseason, you're going to have some guys that aren't going to play certain nights. That in itself is going to move the lines around and move people around. So that's going to help with the familiarity process. And then just building out our team structure and our team plan. I've really enjoyed the work that we've done with the coaching staff and with the new guys coming in with Van Ryn and Boucher. Like I said, great experience, great ideas, are great coaches themselves, and I've worked with great coaches. I've been in the league and around the game a long time. So, I think we've arrived at a real solid plan to start training camp and in the preseason, and we'll build upon that as we go.
Hi, Sheldon. I'm wondering if, the team is going to have a little bit of a different look this year with some of those players that have been acquired. I'm wondering what it's like having Ryan Reeves around.
Well, Reeves has been tremendous in the time he's been around here. Just the presence that he has, the confidence that he has, the life and energy that he brings. Obviously, we're well aware of the physicality and what he brings that way. To me, has played the role probably better than anyone in the league for a long period of time here now. So for him to come in, to have a player of that stature, I think is great. I think we've brought a number of other guys. In general, I think we're looking to improve in some of those intangibles in the game and being comfortable in any environment, no matter what the game presents. I think that's really been something that Tree's been very open about, and I think we were a match right away in that sense in terms of where the team could improve. I think we've brought in a number of people that could do that for us while still maintaining the skill and the depth that we have offensively. So it's a good mix for us this year, and each guy in the early going here, I haven't been on the ice with anyone, but just seeing them around the facility and what they brought, the chemistry of the group, I feel good about.
Sheldon, you've coached William Nylander for a long time. You've pushed him for a long time. He's set career highs the last 2 seasons in points. How much better do you think he can be?
Well, much like when I think about William playing center, I look at when people ask, you think he can do it? I say, I think Willie can do whatever he puts his mind to. He's that good. He's that powerful. He's that strong. So, yeah, I've been, at times I've pushed William hard because I really believe in his ability, and I believe he can accomplish more. I know he wants to accomplish great things, so I think that's part of where we're on the same page, even though maybe sometimes we're not on the same page because I'm pushing and challenging him and all of that. But there's common ground there where he wants to be great, and I'm helping or seeking to help him to do that. He had a tremendous season for us last season, and I fully believe he'll continue to grow on that because I think he set career highs. Yet he did have a couple of periods of time in the season where he had some real lulls, and I know he's tried to eliminate those lulls or reduce those lulls. Some of them are natural and inevitable over the course of an 82-game season, but he's a tremendous player. He's really confident in himself and his ability, and I'll give him every opportunity to continue to build his game.
Sheldon, you obviously worked with Kyle for the vast majority of your pro coaching career. I'm not asking you to compare and contrast him and Brad, but what stood out about Brad's management style in the months that you've gotten to know him?
Well, the one thing that's really stood out with me right away with Brad is just he's very natural and easy to talk to. It feels natural. It's not a big. Did seem like it took much in terms of getting comfortable and speaking with him and all of that. I think that's one of Kyle's great traits as well. So for that sense, it was really good for me. But he comes with different experiences, comes from a different team, comes from a different conference. There's a lot of different perspectives that he brings, fresh ideas, but he's, like anyone that's as successful as he has, and at the top of pro sports like that, for any general manager, they put in lots of hours, and Tree's from out west and all that, but he's been here all summer long, grinding away, and often in a dark and quiet facility on weekends and nothing's going on, and you get a call from him, or you happen to pop in for a different reason and you think the place is empty, but he's upstairs grinding away. So I've been really impressed with how he's taken on so much, and things come really quickly. You know, obviously, it's well documented when he arrived how much he had on his plate, but I think he's handled it extremely well, and like I said, still a very easy guy to talk to and share ideas with.